Well, do a bit of chessable courses. I would like to look at the Alakine defense, short and sweet. I don't know if you guys play it. I think later on is the bullet championship, and we're going also to see a couple of super tough games. We're talking about bullet chess championship, yeah, and we definitely want to see that. I think today gonna play. Let me see the pictures. I think we're gonna have Ali Reza Magnus, Bullet, and Hikaru Naroditsky. So I think it's super exciting. So that'll be later on. So till then, I'm going to look at a couple of and reviewing a couple of the lines, which you can read it here. So that's a very good surprise weapon you may be using. Let's see if I'm able to play the correct sequences here. So we gotta save this guy, knight to b6 here. Well, we can take with both. I think c, d. It's the more challenging one. I think that makes sense. That makes sense. Can't be that bad. Bishop g7. Now, very natural stuff now. We're just selling. Okay. Briefly, just checking here if things are in order. Yeah, okay on kick.com as well. Okay, so let me think. What are we supposed to be doing here? I think we could just very well play bishop to f5. This is a developing move. Now, this move that white played wants to take the c6 from the black knight. So we can't play knight c6 now because the pawn will be taking us. Good stuff also. I mean, it's a plus and it's a minus. It's a plus for white because we can't develop knight c6. And it's a bit of a minus because it gives black a whole diagonal. But I think because white hasn't castled the king, and white needs to spend 1, 2, 3 more tempi to castle the king, we could just challenge with e6. I know it looks a little bit scary because now you probably are not able to see very clearly how you're going to save the bishop. We can look at capturing the knight on c3 and thus creating a safe haven for now on e4. Because once the knight disappears, we can then take advantage of the e4 square. So bishop takes, rook takes. Now we can play bishop e4. And we're going to give the bishop for 2 pawns. Hi there, Chanda. And now we're going to take this guy. Oh, actually, let me think. Is the bishop or the pawn that takes? I think the bishop takes. Let's see if I'm correct. Yes, the bishop takes. Well, the other bishop takes. Let me try and remember if we should take with the queen or we should take with the pawn here. Hmm. Oh no, we don't do nothing. We actually no, we have to take with the pawn, opening up the A file, and then we can just launch ourselves with the queen on H4. That makes sense. Okay. Slowly I start to remember. Now queen to H4. And if you look at this one, it's quite uncomfortable for white. So I'll give you that. White has taken one piece from black. But if you look at the whole situation, following queen to h4, the white king is really in trouble. They gotta move away. When they move away, they can't castle, and then you have another devastating check coming. And not mentioning, actually, you should be taking, and you're looking at this kind of ideas. We're looking at this, we're looking at this kind of stuff. Well, you can't play them all at the same time, obviously. And the author, which is a grandmaster himself, which employs the Arlequin's defense, Especially, he says when he sees on paper that the other guy is slightly lower rated. And there is another thing, ladies and gents. If you read the priority here on a screen, priority means that the computer, the algorithm, detected that this variation has been played very often. I mean, it's been playing very often. It happens very often. So this exchange variation, it happens very, very much on the online games or probably over the boards. But that's definitely one sign. So if the engine says it's a priority, it might happen. So keep this in mind. That's cool stuff. Very cool stuff. So let me look at the position now. Exactly as the GM says, rook at a2, rook to e8, rook f e8. Hey, interesting. The guy says actually knight b8 d7. Oh, well, I guess if you get rid of the pawn on d5, I wonder why not knight c6 though. I mean, if you manage to take this pawn on d5, why not? Interesting. Very interesting. So the variation with bishop c4. So if we previously looked at c4 pawn, there is also a variation with bishop c4. Now, normally you're going to play this. Now I think we could just simply take here, and in case they took, we can just simply trade off the queens. Interesting, guys, look at this. And I think this is something that I played against very often myself. When it happens, and I think the wisest one would be e6. You don't want to do anything else. I don't think so. Right, so they took. What's the follow-up here? Ah, I think I remember. When you're having this position, once you've stopped the checkmate threat on f7, you wanna look at a5 because you wanna hassle, you wanna harass that guy, you wanna harass the b3 bishop. So they created an escaping square via c2. I think we should pushing that guy, right? Oh, incorrect. White is in some trouble. We can make it very hard for our opponents. Castle showdown. Now that's something interesting. That is interesting. So queen to d3 actually takes from the bishop the c2 square. So the bishop can't play there after we push a5. They can't castle. If they play knight f3 or something, they can't really castle. And I suspect white needs to drop the queen back at this stage. Very interesting. Another idea by the same GM would be bishop to d7. Huh, that's quite a direct stuff here. Now that's what it means to play aggressive, right? Knight to f3. Well, if I'm correct, previously the author of the course said bishop d7. Hey, there might be a stronger one. a4. Now, where does the bishop go? Probably here. Very interesting. Okay, what do you think, Chando? What do you think, guys? Is it bishop d7 and bishop b5? They still can't play it. Or is it knight c6? Or is it check? Check would be met with this, would be met with this. Bishop e3? I don't think so. I don't think so. So if we had to just apply the principle, I suspect it would be bishop d7. Oh, incorrect. Our idea is to target the queen side at some point, for example. Oh, for example, it's happening now. So knight c6. Okay. Queen is being hit. Do we go c2? What do you think, Chando? Do we go c2 here? Okay, let's look at the candidate moves. We got the c2. We got a g6. Which one is it? Or do we go back? Or do you just play queen e4? We could. Queen e4, I don't think is that bad. So these are theoretical moves and already discover the strongest moves. Incorrect. There might be a stronger one. Queen to c2. Because queen to c2 stops the bishop from playing. I can see that that's probably the main reason for queen c2. So knight had been developed because obviously the bishop can't move. Now, will we keep up with the development? There's something else. I think bishop e7. Incorrect. a3. Black is already close to winning. a3, because I would imagine if b2 takes, you just take this pawn. Do we just take or we play something else? Incorrect, we don't. We play knight to d5 for taking on c3. Okay. Okay, so now let's see if I remember, actually. Oh, I think it was queen, oops, it was queen to d3 at first. It was a4 for sending this guy away. It was knight c6, getting more space developing. Queen is being hit, but we go queen c2 because we don't want to let the bishop moving out and we're targeting the b2. So white can't play the bishop, but they played the knight. And apparently now black is winning with a3. And after they take, we're not going to take on c3 because the rook probably goes on b1. But instead, we're going to play knight to d5, targeting c3 with the knight. Like, we could just take it afterwards. So that's nice stuff. In this variation, you actually get to play a couple of times until it gets more familiar. And then hopefully you're going to make it into a habit to playing this correct sequence. How's your exams, Chandu, if you're still there? How's your exams, bud? They okay? a4, bishop has to play. We keep up with the development. And queen to c2, not allowing the bishop. a3, making it a mess of the pawns on the queen side. And knight to d5. Let me look at the... Oh, knight to d5 apart from c3, but also looks at f4. I think I like it. So we do it a couple of times. So that's the good stuff about a chessable. You find yourselves courses you're very happy to playing, and then you get to do them a couple of times. And the algorithm says that is a priority as well. That means it's been playing very often. This variations are happening very often. Cool stuff. And a3 and knight to d5. Right, knight to d5 with the overwhelming advantage, says the author. If you like to punish your opponent for playing sidelines with an early bishop c4, be sure to check out the main course where these lines are analyzed in great detail. All right, so if you're happy with the short and sweet, you can always go to uh, getting the full course. But just do the short and sweet first and see how you're faring in your own practical games. So that's another variation with knight f3. So there is the bishop c4 slightly too early, slightly premature being played. There is the more serious one, knight f3. Now, if I remember, what is it? Still g6? Just try to remember. Okay, my recommendation, d takes c5. Let's talk about the alternatives. The classical main line is bishop g4. I think it's the Albort's variation, bishop g4. I have one issue on this one after ed6. Okay. I was going to recommend g6, what I tried to, but after some days of working on this line, I realized that bishop c4. Okay, because so g6 is not a bad move in itself. He just found that this one is a bit more solid for black taking. Okay, do we play? I think we still play g6 here, right? Right now, this guy is being attacked. Hey, what's with this? So I reckon we gotta do either C or E. Because we can't afford losing, I mean moving the knight because we're gonna lose here and that's gonna be a bit of a disaster. So the reason I didn't play E is because I'm kind of like blocking. So bishop G7. I think I castle now. Okay, what am I doing here? Do I do knight B6? Or do I do something else like bishop F5? Or knight BD7? I mean, there are many things. Or B5. Nah, that feels dodgy. I don't think I like it. Okay, to be honest, I'm liking very much the bishop on F5. I'm liking this idea very much. That's an alternative, and it's not a bad move, though. So let's look at other ideas. Is it knight b6? But why would you retreat a very active bishop? Sorry, knight from a central position. What about the subtlety a5 and then b? Oh, nah. I think it feels a bit slow. Or do we just take this guy? I don't think so. Actually, I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't know when I done the lesson last time. Let me just try this one. Yeah, that's just not the right way. Knight BD, knight B8 D7, cool stuff. I guess knight F6. Does that make sense? And then perhaps we can make a pin or something. Alternative, not a bad idea. Oh, do I go via B6 with D7? Incorrect. B5. Okay. The nice explanation is right here on the right hand side. Getting space, creating a Yanchetto for the bishop to go on b7. And Mamedyarov tried at some point, we don't know when, 2012. Oh boy. Oh boy. That needs updated. I wonder if the author had updated the courses with more recent games. Has tried rook e8 here. So we could do b5 as recommended by Roland Price, or we could do rook e8. Tried by Mamedyarov. So that's an interesting stuff. And this Alekhine thing. Okay. Well, we have to take back, that's for sure. This one is targeted twice, so gotta play some rook e8 or e6. Which one is it? Well, you can't defend them both, that's for sure. Is there any other subtlety here? Huh. I don't know. I don't know. Rook e8 makes sense. It's an alternative. It's an alternative. What other stuff? E6? Incorrect. Nice is a possibility here. Rook e8 is fine too. Guitar compensation. Queen takes b5, rook b8. Queen takes d5. And bishop e7. Nice one. e5 is very central and very challenging. Right in the middle of the board. We can't take it back, can we? Well, can we play rook e8 now? No. Sorry, what the heck's going on here? Uh-huh. If knight takes, we're gonna do this. Ooh. After, right? Now we got this. That's crazy. Wow. Well, we have to take. Now we can chase the queen. This. What's going on here? Now, if we do bishop d7, we're dropping this guy, right? So we gotta do something else. I don't know. This. What do we do? Hmm. What do we push? What do we take? No, we can't take for Christ's sake because we got a problem with this battery here, so we can't really take. Can we go forwards? We could. Now, if we do this, we take this from the knight, and there are quite a few things being taken, but it's not. Now, that's an interesting one. A5 with a lot of active possibilities for black. E5. Hmm, that's interesting. A5. This, that would be quite aggressive. A5, preparing bishop A6. Okay, let's see if we are able to reproduce the sequences we've seen together, guys. So we take in this variation after C3 being played. What was it? Oh, knight BAD7. So we're developing and challenging this guy. They go back. We're doing B5. They take, we took, attacking here. What did we say we do? Is rook E8? Oh, that's definitely a possibility. What was the move? Oh, E5. Right. Knight takes. After this move, what was it? Oh, A5 for preparing bishop A6. Nice one. Taking. Did we say we do? Oh, yeah, we keep developing. Very nice. B5. Takes E5. We go for the center. Knight takes, because of the pin we just discussed previously. A5 for this. Taking. Very nice. And you could do this as often as you feel necessary until you actually make it a habit to just playing it in this fashion. I think is the most desirable thing. Classic variation. A lot of active possibilities for black. Cool stuff. And if you look at it, after bishop a6 looks a little bit scary for white, isn't it? Looks a little bit scary for white. Okay. Okay, let's briefly have a look at FIDE Women Chess World Championship. I is still playing that game. Let me see. Actually toggle off the sound. I don't want to hear it, but let me just see the game. Oops. Okay. Let's have a look at this one here. Oh, getting all this stuff. Let's just leave it like this. Ustan is now. Why Joe and June is supposed to be playing? Is a knight f3 a possibility here? Just wondering. Ah, we got this too. Oh, bloody hell. Now the question would be, do we look at rook a to c? What do you think, guys? Rook a to c? Just to prevent this after bishop takes. So rook a to c. So I'm looking at this. Is there anything else stronger? So if you don't do, let's say, if you don't take care of the c file, black might just simply take. The one you take back, you got to be very careful about this kind of things. I think you're in trouble. I think white's in trouble. So I reckon rook a to c1 might be one way to dealing with. Well, it could be knight f3 as well. Let me look. Knight f3. And if this guy take, you just take like this. And if they play knight c3, you're going to have to play the queen somehow. They take your stuff. That bishop, I think I like it. I think I like this bishop. So if you want to preserve the bishop, probably rook 8 to c. Okay, they just took straight away. She just took. She just took. I think you could take with the queen. That's safe. Black might play all sorts of. Okay. Now, that's interesting. Shall we take the pawn or not? If you take the pawn, it's a disaster because of bishop c6. So we can't really take here. We're opening up a whole diagonal for the bishop. I don't think you should be taking. My instincts and my simple calculation at a first glance says that we shouldn't be touching that pawn on d5. We shouldn't take on d5. I don't know why she took, though. I think it looks very scary. I don't like to take that. I mean, I know it's a pawn. I agree, it's a pawn, but after bishop to c6, I just don't like that. I wouldn't have given that to my opponent. Maybe the computer says it's fine. For me, as a human with the human approach and very fallible at times, or maybe all the time, I wouldn't be rushing into queen takes the pawn on d5. It feels like I'm giving black a lot of power here. It's like I'm gonna switch on the engine and ask if the engine considers that's the best move for white to have played. But then again, as a human, when you take and your opponent plays bishop c6, let's be very honest about it. With the bishop on c6 along this diagonal, you can't tell me you like it particularly in principle. Maybe they don't want to play this straight away. Maybe they want to play queen to e7 first because you don't want to trade off the queens. Then bishop c6, saying probably. But in itself, I really don't want to help my opponent. And probably none of us chess players want to help the other person too much in chess. So I don't know what to say. Now, let me go back one move. Let me go back one single move, ladies and gents. So now let's see if the engine actually agrees. Probably the computer, because it's the epitome of materialistic and grabbing whatever you can take. Yeah, they say queen takes d5 indeed. Also, queen c5 as an option if you really don't want to take it. But yeah, the engine says we should take it. Which Joe engine play? She did take. She did take. Okay. And I'm guessing something. If bishop plays now, she would trade immediately. Okay, this guy is hanging a bit. Oh no, e3 is also hanging. I don't know. Is she gonna play e7? Is she gonna play bishop c6? Is she going to take first? Then you're gonna play that, and they're gonna play that, and then you're gonna play that, and then they're gonna play that, and then she's gonna play that and this. Isolated pawn on the A and on the C file. Very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. What's the best course of action, ladies and gents, for black? Should black just be taken on e3? But I think that will result in some isolated pawns. I'm not fully convinced. The evil bar says it's a complete level, very balanced position here. By the virtue of maintaining the balance, probably rook takes c3. So you take your stuff back. But you could take it at a later time. And I think queen e7 is also very interesting. But what do you do after this? So I'm kind of not very convinced. So I guess Lei Tang Ji now needs to look at this kind of stuff straight away. Hello, Andreas. We could, in principle, just give me a couple of ideas. What do you think Black should be doing here? What do you think Black should be playing? What would you do if you're having Black in this position? What do you think, Andreas? Should you do bishop c6? Should you do something else? Bishop c6 seems incredibly natural and the safest way, but on the other hand, I'm pretty sure Joe and John might be just very well taking. Then rook takes, and then maybe white has enough time to probably defend. Rook takes d what? It's black's turn. Sorry, it's black's turn. Rook d1 would be interesting for white indeed, I'll tell you that. It's black's turn to play. Yeah, if you're white here, you could think of rook d1. You could think, yeah, I think it makes sense. I agree. Maybe this. Who knows? Maybe rook a d1. Yeah, I agree. Hello, Misty. Rook e4 to e3. Could be. Let me tell you one single thing I'm doubting about this, Mr. Luna. If rook takes e3, think of it. Rook takes e3. Not a bad stuff. Then I suspect we have to do something to save the bishop immediately. So probably bishop f3. Then we're having this. And then we're getting into this stuff that we just mentioned a few seconds ago. Queen takes, rook takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. And it is white's turn, and black is having two isolated pawn on a6 and c6. Very interesting. I think then white is a bit better. So that is why I think Lei Teng-ji now should just be willing to just spend more time thinking about this one. Rook takes pawn on e3. Black can check on queen b6. You don't check straight away. You could take on e3, that's for sure. Then this guy here. Then queen b6 to have a discover check. So thus saving the bishop. That's an interesting idea. So rook e3, bishop f3, queen b6. That's interesting. This is interesting. Really interesting. That is why they take so much time, ladies and gents. They do spend time thinking about this. Wow. That's an interesting one, and that's really good stuff, people. So they do take. Who was that? Andreas. They do take. She did take. She took on e3, exactly as you have predicted, as you have fought, because you fought and then you decided. You made an option based on calculation and evaluation. Then if e3 was there, then it would be able to threaten more than one piece, if I'm correct. Misty, I think your idea with I mean, if potentially bishop f3 and queen b6, I think it's a very, very good idea for black, because it threatens a discovered check. It's very scary. For white, that is. Not mentioning rook 8 to d8. I think it's very promising. The engine says it's a perfect with the very, like, it doesn't even matter. Plus 0.02. It doesn't even matter. Uh, but it's very interesting. So bishop f3, queen b6. You can't really take, can you? Because then rook to d3, check. And I think the white queen is gone. Unless I'm missing some tactics. So that's super cool, guys. That's very, very cool here. Yes, indeed. Bishop f3, queen to b6. You can't really touch the bishop, can you? Yeah, I think you are correct saying that there is a very powerful threat, and white can't really do that. So I mean, after bishop f3, queen b6, you have to move the king. You will have to move the king, probably. King h1, that is, I mean. And then white will be playing rook 8 to d8, defending the bishop and threatening another discovered attack on the queen this time. And now you have to move the queen. Where exactly? I don't know. Maybe here. Maybe g5. Maybe. Could be. It's sort of the safest whilst keeping an eye on the rook on d8. Threatening this kind of stuff, coming with the pawn down, maybe f6 at some point in the future, I'm saying. I think from this point of view is very interesting. Bishop f3, queen b6, king h1, rook a d8. I think that's quite strong sequence. Queen to g5, and I think the game is playable for both colors. For both Wen Jun and Teng Ji, I think the game is very playable. They might end up in another draw. I think it's 4.5 at the minute now, guys. That's very interesting. Very good ideas, Mr. Luna and Andres. It weakens the attack of white. Yes, it does, because it's a threat. It's a very serious threat. Who came with the idea of Queen B6, Misty or Andres? Queen B6, it's not a check, but yeah, Andres came with the idea. Andres, I think Queen B6 is a very dangerous idea for white. It's a very good one for black. And white will have to be very careful after Queen B6, really. I mean, look, first thing now, you got to decide what you do with the bishop here. So this guy is under threat now. And I mean, can you do this kind of things? Not really. Can you, though? Can white do bishop c4? Yes, she just did. Whoa, look at the evolve. What? What the heck's going on? Bishop c4, the engine went for a second like crazy in white's favor. I guess you could do this. Then queen takes, rook takes. That was it. So bishop f3 wasn't that strong. Bishop f3 wasn't that strong. Bishop c4, on the other hand, it forces black to probably do bishop e6, resulting in training off the queens. So bishop c4 battery, it's the strongest one. And forces black. I mean, you can't just do rook e7, can you? It's just way too defensive. Getting a full rook, controlling the third rank, getting it back on the seventh rank for just defensive purposes, I don't think black will do that. I just think, given the fact that it's equal material and stuff, I think Lei Teng Ji would just play bishop e6. And you just trade queens at this stage. Probably, right? I don't think there's anything else. You just trade the queens. Trade queens, rook plays, and then you take. Then rook takes. Then, I don't know, get one of the rooks, either D or E. So this sort of ideas. But correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gents, but I think bishop e6 is the only move for black. Am I wrong, Andreas, Mr. Luna? Bishop e6 the only move, right? For black, I mean. Bishop e6. That's the only move? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They will be trade off and probably another draw. That's the only move. Thank you very much for confirming, Andres. Yeah, I think that's the only move. You can't, I mean, you could do bishop, sorry, you could do rook e7, but that doesn't mean nothing. It's painful. You can't do that. Can't do rook e7, not at this stage, not at this level. I mean, if you don't want to trade, if Lei Teng Ji does not want to trade, rook e7 is the way to go. But yeah, I don't think you want to play rook e7, right? Let's ask the engine. What if we do, if you what you mentioned, plus strike develop a pawn? What? Like rook e7? I guess you can. It just feels a bit weird. Bishop e6 is the stuff. I mean, I don't understand what pawn you say to develop, Mr. Luna. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Now, after bishop e6, Should white trade queens or should white go for the b7? It's getting funky. Probably you should trade off queens. Probably you should trade off queens with white here after bishop e6. So for black, it's either this or it's either this. Let's ask the engine. A6. A6. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Mr. Luna, in what circumstance you would like to play. I mean, A6 is already there, right? Is already there. I don't follow the thought you're suggesting, Mr. Luna. Okay, let's see what does the engine say. The engine suggests, yeah, yes, we got it right, this one, ladies and gents. The engine suggests bishop e6, the strongest move, but also the engine mentions rook e7, exactly as we have discussed. I'm happy we're still able to identify the healthiest moves here, so we're not completely off the track. Oh, that's okay. You're going to have a long career. Maybe you're going to become a grandmaster someday. Then I'm going to ask you for an autograph and an interview, Mr. Luna. So I think you're on the right track. So bishop e6 and rook e7. I'm happy we have identified these moves. Let's toggle off the lines again and go back our position. Yes, she did play bishop e6, obviously. Now, guys, let's think again on our own. Should we... Wait a minute. Let me just move this thing. Oh, no, he hasn't... No, she hasn't played yet. She hasn't played yet. I think she spends a lot of time now. She's going to be spending a couple more minutes deciding whether bishop e6 or rook e7 is what she wants to do. Rook e7 would not trade off things. So if you don't want to trade off rook e7, if you just want to do the only stuff that's keeping up with the things, probably bishop e6. Rook e7 is a bit defensive and looks like it waters down the power for the black rook on the third rank. So you wouldn't necessarily drop the rook back because you're just giving up power, right? You don't want to give up on the newly instated rook on the third rank. You don't want to lose that power. So probably you wouldn't do rook e7 if you think in this fashion. If you're really horrified by trading queens, that is, you're gonna go rook e7, right? Probably. That is very good. What openings do you play, Mr. Luna, for white and black? What do you play for white? You do e4, you do d4. Alrighty. You're talking about the online rating. I think you can find it very easily on Lee Chess. It's like 2120, something like that, 2100 and something, always up and down. On chess.com is like 2100 the rapid and 2000 and something the blitz up and down all the time. Over the board last time I played like 3 years ago, and the blitz over the board is 1583. It needs to be updated, so hopefully I'm gonna go on the 13th of August and play rated over the board again and getting some a refresher on terms of over the board rating. It's acceptable for a coach that deals with beginners and intermediates, because I'm having beginners and intermediates as students, so it's acceptable from this point of view. It's absolutely fine. There's always room for improvement. So if you were white, you would play rook a1 to e1. Yeah, but it's black's turn, because if it's white's turn, it's gonna be a disaster. Queen takes f7, and I think white's gonna win long term. If it's black's turn, black needs to defend. With white, I'm doing Danish gambit when I'm not doing king's gambit. With white, and very rarely I do d4, and when I do, I would prefer having a Catalan with g3 fianchetto. Well, could happen anything. Um, and with black, I'm ranging from Sicilian Dragon or Najdorf or Alekhine. So this kind of ideas. Well, maybe Dutch at some point. I think Magnus Carlsen has a new video, guys, on chess.com explaining ideas and the stuff he played against Vishy Anand, his first official Stonewall Dutch Stonewall. So I think you could have a look at that video on chess.com. Very interesting ideas. Still thinking about it. Okay, so they'll be playing for a while. Andreas, you said you wanna have a you wanna have a friendly game. You have to tell me your username first, and then we'll try having a quick one, maybe 3-5 minutes. Unrated friendly game. You need to either challenge me or tell me the username. Andrea. Okay. And you can, by the way, guys, you can join my club as well. I'm gonna send you a join the club invitation or something. Let me see if I can find you. Oh, I think I've added an extra S. Okay, that probably must be you. Okay, let me send you an invitation to join the club. Let me send you an invitation here to join the club. And you can think about, you don't have to if you don't want to. So you don't have to accept the invitation if you don't want to, but I just sent it. Now I'm going to create a challenge. And we're going to play. Let's play 3-2. Let's make it unrated. And when you accept it, we'll just go with this. Okay, ladies and gents. Oh, you play the Scandinavian. I guess that Philippines. Cool stuff. All right, let's go. If I'm given the opportunity, I'll probably try and get some space. We're playing 3-2. Yeah, it's 3-2. Let's just keep up with the development. Take him. Developing stuff. Nothing special. Nothing. A little bit of a preemptive stuff, not completely necessarily, but okay, we'll just do it like this. Okay. Let's try this one as well. Go with this idea. Okay, what do we do? Think. Couple of interesting ideas. Can they? Should I? Probably I should. Probably I should. I just did. Try to keep it positional. I try to keep it under. Oh, nice one. Oh, I see now. You took the pawn and then you're gonna grab on c3. Very nice find. Very nice find, Andreas. Very nice find here. Oh, then the other guy is a little bit hanging in it. Hmm. Very nice find. Okay. Oh, very nice move you found over there. I'm going with that. I don't know. Let's try this. Hmm. Ah, I see. Interesting. Interesting. Very good moves. Very good moves you're playing, indeed. Can't think of anything else. You're doing very well moves. Very good moves. The only thing that matters, right? Just keep attacking. The only thing that matters. Hmm. Huh. Running along, so to speak. Yeah, we're gonna do a game review. We're gonna do afterwards, and then we could go with the bullet. We'll do a game review. I want to see how the engine appreciates. Your rating should be high, isn't it? Mm-hmm. No worries. We're gonna review every single stuff we play, ladies and gents. Yeah, we could do a bullet. We could do a bullet afterwards. Although I'm not the fastest ever. Let's just try. Oh boy. Yeah. So let me resign this one. I want to put the game review. I want to see exactly what's your actual rating. Yeah. Game review. Now, I'm fully aware I didn't play the best moves ever, but I think the rating of my opponent, if that's their real picture and stuff, should be higher, isn't it? Should be higher. So they played with an accuracy of 85.2. 85.2 accuracy. The rating should be way higher than 1230. Andreas. It should be higher. Perfect opening, excellent middle game, and very good end game. Yeah. Yeah, the rating should be higher. Should be way higher than it currently is. Yeah. Former top 5 national on the Philippines. Okay. So is that you? That's okay. So you're a title player. Former top number 5 national chess on Philippines. You should be a rated player, right? But I mean, wow. And also you play with 93 accuracy. So are you like the person you're saying here? Have you been number 5 or in the first number 5 national chess players in Philippines? That's what it says here. Former top number 5 national chess. Mm-hmm. You joined the chess.com on July the 13th. That means 6, 7 days ago. You played only 30 games. Okay. Oh yeah, I've heard that one like a billion times. Yeah. You don't play a lot online, sure. So, okay. Whatever. Okay, I'll leave it to that. All right, guys, let's see what the other people are doing. I'm talking about Women's World Championship. Let's see what they do. Watch and FIDE Women's Chess World Champion. Oh, let me just toggle off the things here. So Bishop B5 had been played. Very nice. Rook on the D file. Very nice attacking here. So the queen has to go. We don't know where. We can just make a couple of assumptions here. Right, so who else is here? Mike, you want to play? Okay, I'm going to have... Yeah, you're going to have to tell me the username first, guys. And we can go for a bullet first. Apps. Nah, we're going to do a bullet first. Let me see. So, because I don't know you guys. Yeah, sure. Okay, so 0. Let me see this, guys. 0 or O? 01 or 01? Life. No, black is not winning here. It's just a very strong attack. If white plays correctly, it would be a draw. Black is now winning. Okay, so that might be yourself. Okay, let's start with the bullet and see how you're doing with the bullet. Yep, definitely. Your challenge does not match the member's current match settings. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. Okay, 2 minutes and one. And one. Your challenge does not match the member's current match settings. I don't know what that means. Maybe you put some limits or something. I don't know what it means. That's weird, but anyway. Well, if you did put settings, then it is what it is. You need to redo them. In the meantime, let's go back very briefly. This one here. Oh, so Andres, you've been top number 5 in Philippines. If it's national, you should be a rated player, right? So you should be a rated player. That's your real picture. That's your real picture. No, top number 9 national chess. That means national. That means for the whole country of Philippines. Is that your real picture? So if that's your name and you are amongst the top number 5 national chess on Philippines, you are a rated player. Unless something's very fishy here and you're lying. You can't be top number 5 in the top number 5 national chess player and not being a rated player. What are you talking about on your streets? This is national, this is official stuff. You are a rated player or you are lying. Former top number 5 national chess. You do have a rating. Is that your real picture? Or you took somebody else's picture, or is that your real picture? That looks like a serious committed person that wears a USA Chess hoodie. So the person in the picture you use for your avatar wears a hoodie. I mean, and it says USA Chess. Something's fishy here. Oh boy, you created this account 3, 6, 7 days ago. Hmm. I think it's something very, very fishy here. I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I seriously doubt that's you, but hey. Okay. I think this person does some weird stuff here. So, Mike, if you want to change it, you got to go to the settings and custom. Oh man. Yeah, just leave it at that. I'm gonna deal with that one later. Leave it at that. Yeah, that's very fishy. So that should be a rated player. Top number 5 national chess. That should be a rated player. And shouldn't be wearing a hoodie with USA chess. So that's weird as hell. All right, it should be with the Philippines chess, not USA chess, eh? Or something. Something's weird. Okay, forget about it. We're gonna ask chess.com to investigate this account. Right. What was your username again? Oh one. Oh, you gotta tell me the username again. Or just you challenge me, perhaps. Oh one NE Mike 5. Challenge. Okay. Unrated for the time being. And your challenge does not match the member's current match settings. I don't know what that means. You need to refresh the whole thing. You need to restart the whole thing, or I don't know what that is. And let me know when it works. Actually, I think I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. It's only 1 or 2 viewers, so there's no point in persisting at this minute. I think I'll be returning back when Magnus plays Ali Reza later on. Magnus Ali Reza, and will be Daniel Naroditsky versus Nakamura. Right, with that kind of language, I'm gonna freaking ban you. You are an idiot. With that kind of language coming here publicly. Let me just get you out of this thing. Okay, cool stuff. Let's go to watch. Be the women chess world champion. Okay, let me see. Did I change anything here? Let's see what's going on. Queen to c6. c6. What is white going to play here now? Let's think for ourselves for a bit. What is B? Could this be? Could this? That? There are a couple of rook moves that white can play here. Maybe moving the pawn, maybe playing one of the 2 rooks. If you're looking at this rook b1 and rook b8, probably could be met by this as well. The engine says it's a 0.00, so 235. That's an extra, but hold on a second. Yeah, white's turn. Okay, so I think white should be looking at preserving this pawn. I mean, as a human, you want to keep the pawn alive. You want to keep that pawn alive. So probably either rook or the pawn. No, pawn move doesn't work because of this. So if c5, then rook d5 will happen straight away. So we can't really do this. But what white can do is just to play a rook perhaps and protect. I don't know if rook f, or probably rook on the f to c, because you want to keep the rook on the a to b. So you either want to get this one here and the other rook to keep it on the b file, just in any case to provoke some tradings on the back rank. So that might be the case. That might be the case. Hmm. Okay. They still having like almost like what 30, 54 minutes to play. So guys, I probably would be returning when the Magnus plays Ali Reza later on today. I think that would be really, really super exciting. So don't forget, if you wanna watch these guys playing later, if you wanna join the stream, that's fine for discussing some more chess topics and making predictions whilst they play. Although in a bullet it's very difficult to make too many assessments, not even the grandmasters that are making the live comments manage to get it right because you simply don't have enough time to process all that information and data. So, cheers, guys. Thanks for being here for the time being, and I'll see you if not later on today, tomorrow, Thursday. Yeah, I'm gonna see you then Thursday tomorrow, guys. Thank you very much. See you soon.